Hey guys, what's going on? It's Low for Low Nose back at you with another Tech Take. And today, my friends, we are taking a look at the Smart XE 3-axis smartphone gimbal. Now, I've been trying out this gimbal for the past week, and I'm ready to share with you my final thoughts and experiences about this gimbal, and also to see if this is the right gimbal for you. So let's get straight to it. Now, a couple of features that come with the Smart XE gimbal is as follows. You've got a RGB magnetic fill light that you see here on the top. I feel like this is becoming all the rage these days. Add RGB accents to your videos or your photos, and also a key light as well in the dark. Other features as well are, well, like we said before, the 3-axis stabilization, the magnetic holder for our fill light, zoom and focus controls, that's always awesome, 3 shooting modes, a smart app, which we will get into. I feel like the smart app is like the best feature of this gimbal, and of course, easy foldable, portable as well. In order to download all that stuff, you've got your QR code right here from the App Store and also Android Store. So let's get straight to the unboxing of this smart gimbal. Masters, leap away, always lead. Sure, I'm not sure what that means, but I'll take it. Okay, so we've got a really compact patching right here. As you can see, this gimbal is not the biggest gimbal one out there, but you know what? Gimbals, they don't have to be crazy big. As long as they do what they need to do, I'm fine with it. All right, so here's our fill light. You've got some magnetic contacts on the bottom and the back. You also have a power and a mode button. We'll get more into this. Of course, as that's RGB. You've got your tripod for your gimbal right here, and also you get a USB-C to USB-A charging cord for your fill light and also your gimbal as well. Let's take out our gimbal. As you can see, it's actually really small. It just fits in the palm of your hand. You've got some product information, a manual, and of course, some little bonus features about your fill light as well. Make sure to check out all that stuff. All right, so let's get straight to our gimbal. Again, look how small and compact this is. You could probably fit this in your pocket, your backpack, your purse. I don't know. It's small enough, great enough for fast traveling, for vlogging or whatever you're trying to get. Yeah, this very small. All right, so let's open it up. There we go, and you're all set. Let me go ahead and take my tripod here so we can actually stand this up, and let me give a quick overview of what this gimbal has. So you've got your dial here to actually pan left, pan right, pan forward, and pan back. You have a recording button for recording video or taking a photo, your power button, of course, to turn on, turn off. You've also got your follow modes here of F, POV, and also DM, and also here it shows which mode you're on by these dots and also the status of your battery. We look to the side, you've got your rack focus right here, so you can actually pull focus on your smartphone, and also your zoom button for tight and wide as well. Bring it to the side, you've got your USB-C charging cable for the gimbal. And if we turn it to the back, we'll see we have a quick cheat sheet for your gimbal that shows you what the different light buttons mean as far as your battery status, also how to get to the quick follow modes, of course, recording, powering, the joystick and functions, and other functions as well. So let's actually get our smartphone onto this gimbal. Where is, you know what? I left my phone in my room. Let me get it. Got it. All right, so setting this up on your gimbal is super simple. Of course, you just want to make sure that the name of the gimbal is facing upward. Put your phone facing on that position, and you're good to go. Now, all you have to do is just hold the power button for a couple of seconds. It'll power up, and then it'll level itself out. Now, of course, using the joystick remote, I can move it left, I can pan it left, and I can pan it right, pick it up, and also down, and it responds as any gimbal would for nice, smooth video tracking. Now, as of right now, since the phone is just in the holder, I can't use the rack focus or the zoom in. So what I want to do now is connect the app that actually comes with the gimbal. So once you finish downloading the app, go ahead and go to your app. Now, like I said before, the 3-axis gimbal on this works just fine. It works faithful. You're gonna get some nice smooth footage. But you know what? Sometimes the app really makes or break a gimbal. And I'll tell you, I've tried plenty of gimbals where they were really solid gimbals, but the app was just lacking. I feel like this might be the best app feature, the best app that comes with a gimbal so far, and I'm gonna let you know really soon. But first, let's go through the features of the app. First, you've got your home button. This is where you actually connect the gimbal to your smartphone, so we already have that going on, so we'll go ahead and directly go back to that. Now you have a beauty filter, so I guess this is all the rage, but we'll go ahead and do that. By default, it is on off, but when we turn it on, we can actually smooth out the image. We can brighten it up, you know, kind of like put some, you know, powder, and also we can rosy up our image. Let's go rosy up. We're gonna slide it. There we go. Rosy up the image as well. If you're into that, well then it's on you, but I'm not. So let's go back. So let's go to the next one. We can go to PX, which is we'll call it our pixel mode. Here you can actually change the resolution of your recording. Right now, I'm going to pick 4K at 24 frames per second because that's just the way I like it. Now, you do have the option between H.264 and H.265. Let me real quickly tell you what the difference between those are. H.264 is more of an uncompressed file format, so meaning that it's going to be easier to edit, but also it's going to be a lot bigger file. H.265 is going to be a very smaller compressed file, but harder to edit. So depending on you, you're going to have to make those trade-offs to see which one works for you. Ease of editing or storage size. So you're gonna have to make that call. We'll go to the next one. Right here, we've got our, I guess, our menu button. You can see here we have the difference between timing, close, 3 second and 10 seconds. So that's like your shutter button for photos or videos. You also have a camera setting. We'll go into there as well. You have a selfie mirror mode, a Bluetooth microphone, also a lock face button. We'll go to the next one. You have our gimbal settings. Okay, where we just different parameters. And you have a lot of different parameters here that you can actually mess with. Fine tuning, adjusting, the joystick speed, follow speed. You can mess with all of those settings. You know, and I always love an app that gives you a lot of detailed settings so you can have the most control. You have your grid. We can actually lay a grid there, right there as well. You have your anti-shake. Now, notice this right now. As I'm talking, you see how there's a certain zoom. Once I press anti-shake, it zooms in just a little bit. What that does, it does a software anti-shake, meaning it zooms in a little closer so the software can kind of keep the image even more still. So if you need that additional stabilization, then you can do that. I'd probably recommend that if you were doing probably some quick movements such as running, definitely add that on. And now you have the expert mode, which is probably, this is my favorite part of the of this app or the gimbal setup. Why? Well, just look at the picture right now. Right now, it's using the default settings of the iPhone. And I feel like a lot of times the default settings on the iPhone is a very rosy look. But let me turn off the grid. Let's go to Pro mode. And here, I can actually lock on my shutter. So previously, I picked 4K 24 per second. So my shutter should really, it should be the rules of 180 rule. So since I'm at 50, no, since I'm at 25 frames per second, my shutter should be at 150. All right. Now, my ISO, I'll leave that, but my white balance should be reflecting more of what my room is. Right now, it's on auto. I don't want auto. So let's switch it all the way to, actually, hold on. Let me go back. You have different presets for white balance, which is super awesome. I wish the original iPhone, the iPhone software had that, but it doesn't. So here we go. We can set it up to like maybe, let's do 5500, 54. Let's do 5500 Kelvin, 5600 Kelvin. That's what my lights are set at. So now I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, okay, this is awesome. I've got some nice stabilization, and now I finally have accurate colors when it comes to my iPhone. This is why I like the expert mode so much. And of course, you can add a horizontal line as well. Well, okay, there you go. So you can add that there. You also have horizontal adjustment and zoom speed as well. And when we play with our Titan Zoom, all right, the zoom speed will actually affect that. All right, so let's get out of the expert mode and let's move on to the next one. Here we can flip our camera from, right now it's a front-facing camera. We can go to the rear-facing camera and we can switch that out. And then of course we have our face tracking as well. Now, I almost forgot. Let's take a little quick stop and let's talk about the fill light here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this right on the top. I'm gonna press the power button. Okay, and automatically you have like a certain type of light. Now I'm gonna press the mode button, and what the mode button does, it gives me different brightnesses on my fill light. So I'll press it once, bright, super bright, back to dim, medium, then super bright. Okay, now if we press the power button, we'll go through different RGB effects, such as, we'll say orange, tungsten, red, blue, green, purple, aqua? I don't know. And then back to regular daylight. So yeah. All right. So let's go to face tracking. You'll see a little hand right here, but first we're going to start the face tracking right here. We're going to activate it. So I'm going to go ahead and press face tracking, and now it's going to start tracking my face. And you can see how it's actually moving from side to side, which is actually really cool. Now we can actually do different kind of tracking, which is we have a body mode, and it'll scan, it'll look for my body. It's just going to stay on my torso, which is actually really cool. You can see how the software is actually working in that way, which is so cool. This is actually cool better for sports if you're trying to track the entire body or the person. Then we can do an object tracking, which is even better. So let's take this, like we said before, our USB-A to USB-C cord. I'm gonna go ahead and take my gimbal. I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm going to create a box around the object. And now once it's there, it's going to follow it the entire time, which is awesome. So yeah, and if you wanted like a smaller turn, of course you can change all of that with inside the settings as well. And I'll tell you, I'm loving how the front-facing keep in mind, this is the front-facing camera, and it looks really good, but I feel because of the software, because now I'm actually controlling my exposure, my shutter speed, and also the white balance of my camera. I had no idea that my front-facing camera looks so well. Okay, and also there's one more where there's an other app tracking. That's if you want to use this with other apps, you can actually, you know, set that up right there as well. Okay, now let's go to the gesture mode. You see right here that we have our gesture mode off. I'm going to turn it on. And with this, you can see it gives you like a gesture control quick guide. Now, if I take my fist like this, it'll switch from photo and video. Okay, there we go. Now, if I open up my palm, it'll actually set for photo, or it'll actually start taking a picture or recording. So we'll do this. And now it's recording. There you go. And if I do this, it'll stop it. Okay, we'll bring up the gesture control again. And with this, we'll see when I throw up the OK sign, it'll start face tracking. So we'll throw it up, face tracking on, we'll throw it again, face tracking off. Next one, if we throw up the 2 thumbs up, it'll go from landscape to portrait. If I hold it there, it'll flip over again. Right now, if we do the L shape, it'll go from gesture off and then do it again, gesture on. So yeah, there you go. Now let's talk about the recording options, which there are plenty. Your standard and usual. We'll go all the way to the bottom. Of course, you have your long exposure, which is really cool. Kind of you just press record and kind of like got this wave, and then that's about it. So if you're looking for that long exposure, kind of like at night, and you want cars racing by, you've got that going on. Now you have trajectory delay, where you set up a couple different points. So let's set up a point right here. And then I'll set up a point over here. And then I can press up. Now, I'll let you know right now, this is the only kind of hiccup I found during this. If my Pro mode is on during this, the overlay goes over the next step and I can't move. So I have to go and I have to turn off Pro mode so I can then press next step. But then I lose my automatic settings, meaning that I have to go back and go to Pro mode. And then, oh no, I kind of lose it. It's weird. But that's kind of like a quirk I find out so far. So we'll do that. Next step, along, and of course it'll figure out our long trajectory settings. So yeah, there you go. All right, so let's go to the next one. Next one, you have your time lapse. This is just keeping it still, and it's just focusing on one spot for a longer duration. Of course, we have our slow motion with your standard slow motion. Video, self-explanatory. Photo, self-explanatory. Of course, you have a panorama mode, which is actually really cool. We can try the 180, or you've got the 3/5 or a 3x3 or 330 degrees, but we'll do 180. And all I have to do is just set to whichever one I want and just press record. And it just starts doing its thing. Shooting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really simple, just like, that's why I love it so, that's why I like this so much. They really found a way to make the software just really easy and just, yeah. Okay, and of course you have your Hitchcock where it focuses on you, but then where it stays on you, but at the same time, it'll go backwards. So you can really get that really cool Hitchcock mode. I wish it was a little more automatic, you know, because if I do it, start end position, there you go. So I'm supposed to be like walking backwards at the same time or something, but there we go. Okay, and of course you have Inception mode, where all I have to do is set on Inception mode and just press record, and it automatically just starts spinning around just like that, no issues. It's just gonna make a full rotation and then it's gonna stop at that point right there. Now, let's stop that. Let's go to our moves. Okay, which is, I feel like, probably one of the coolest things about that. A lot of times, okay, I have this gimbal, how do I get the really cool looking shots? Well, right here, it gives you a perfect example on how to get those cool looking shots. So we're gonna go to use. First, I'll show you what it actually looks like from camera or from the gimbal, and then what the guy's actually doing to get that shot. And you can actually choose between different shots to get some really cool different looks. I'm telling you, a lot of times you'll see these awesome shots, you're just like, man, how do they do it? It's really awesome that they give you some good, clear examples on how to actually achieve those shots. So try out the different shots, have fun, and just create your own little design. All right, so let me give you my final thoughts when it comes to this gimbal. First of all, I think it's a solid gimbal. 3-axis stabilization works just fine, and it holds up very well. And of course, like the fill light, well, I feel like this has got to be like the standard for gimbals to come. You know, a lot of times you're gonna be in dark spaces, you're gonna need that little extra light, and you don't want to carry around a big light. Having any kind of additional light will help, especially in a nice compact package, and also having the RGB effect as well, that always helps. At the same time, man, you gotta give it up to the app. I feel like the app is what actually makes this a solid overall choice to actually get this, especially when it comes to the Pro mode. I feel like I'm getting the best possible image possible on my smartphone because of this app itself. So props to the app. Is this the smart gimbal for you? That's up to you, but I'm telling you right now, for the size and the value, man, this is a really strong contender. Yeah, I mean, yeah, how can you go wrong, right? All right, guys, really hope this video helped you out. Take care. Enjoy. As always, I'll leave links in the description down below so you can pick up your own Smart XC gimbal. Hey guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other future videos. Hit that like button if you like what's going on here, and also ding that notification so you'll be notified for future videos as well. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.